sister-in-law stole our baby's name, but now she regrets it.
Maybe you shouldn't have been name thieving.
Hey y'all, long-time lurker and all that. This is a throwaway account. To cut to the chase, my wife and I spent 4 years trying to get pregnant before the wrong side of 35. We are currently 33, respectfully now, and are blessed with a wonderful infant son. By the way, this comes from you, dad, who stood his ground on the ROK Storytime subreddit. So my wife has a younger half-sister that she has been low contact with for some time. The woman is entitled and toxic and also her mother's golden child. We've refused to let her or my mother-in-law in the house since he both blatantly tried to make off with my wife's jewelry box a couple of years ago.
So not only are they name thieves, they are just thieves.
They are literally just thieves.
Yeah.
The box contained a whole lot of valuable jewelry inherited from my wife's grandmother. Said jewelry is now in a safety deposit box as per my suggestion. My wife and I nearly given up trying to conceive when it suddenly happened. And we were ecstatic. After we found out we were having a boy, we started looking into names. I ended up suggesting the name of my Scottish grandfather. Don't know what that was.
Yeah, I'll let that one fly.
Thank
That's
you.
okay.
We're just gonna
go. Fly away.
And my wife loved it. So that's the name we settled on. But we made the mistake of posting about it on social media. Well, no surprise to the stereotype in this mess. My sister-in-law was pregnant too. And months further along than my wife and also having a boy. She decided to claim my grandfather's name for her own son. And not just the first name, but the middle name too. We called her, pissed over what she was doing, and she smugly told us there's nothing we can do about it. Which she sort of was right. There was nothing we could do about it. Legally, as it's still not a crime to steal planned baby names, we realized that drama was exactly what my sister-in-law wanted. And she thought by taking the name for herself, we'd not be able to use it. I laughed and told her that what she did was dirty and underhanded. We would keep our chosen name and she could just deal with it whether she decides to go through with copying us or not. Well, my sister-in-law's baby daddy called me and said I was an unreasonable wiener for still wanting to use the name after sister-in-law claimed it. I said she claimed nothing. And since we couldn't own the name, then neither could they. Before he ended the call, he threatened me by saying I'd be sorry if we didn't change the name. Then he hung up before I could respond. Months later, sister-in-law has a healthy baby boy and names him my grandfather's name. We did not show up for the birth, both because of the pandemic and because we simply didn't care to be there. Sister-in-law called us wanting congratulations, but we told her we simply didn't care. And that if she was still insisting we change our baby's name, then she'd be in for some big disappointment because we were not. Sister-in-law demanded I put my wife on the phone, but it was already on speaker and my wife spoke up and said, no, I agree. We weren't changing the name. Sister-in-law hung up on us, but soon started sending emails with text walls of names, even suggesting similar ones. I responded back that the name was from my grandfather and that's why we were not changing it. She shut up and we didn't hear from her again until after our own son was born. 2 months later, we are blessed with our son. He came out perfect, and we named him just as we intended. Well, no surprise, my sister-in-law called us a few days after the birth to scream in our ears that we copied her son's name. I pointed out she was a real copycat. She had no familial ties to the name, and we did. And anyone who looks at our family trees could see that. Then my wife spoke and said after the attempted theft of her grandmother's jewelry, she no longer considered sister-in-law her sister.
We're going to get back to the story, but Sam, you have a copious amount of something.
What, John?
X's.
I have like 4 or 5 or 6.
I heard of 6 with a 0
All
behind
right,
it.
that 60 number, comes from somewhere else.
Where does that come from?
It comes from our OK Storytime membership.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
And it's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Join a club almost as exclusive as Sam's X's. Well, let's get back to the story.
And would have nothing to do with her nephew either. For months, we are bombarded with messages and emails from my wife's side of the family. Half were on our side after finding out the whole story. And it's always like family members like never want to like check in and be like, I heard this, is this true? They just jump to like name calling, harassment. I'm not gonna like check if my information is right.
Right, well clearly these people are just self-centered a-holes. So
The other half were not. And sister-in-law's baby daddy, true to his word, showed up at my door to make me story. Now this is getting scary.
All right, let's get the police involved here.
Jesus. I'm not sure what his plan was, but I pretty much towered over him. I'm a 6'1" and well built from regular exercise and 3 trips to the gym a week. He on the other side was very skinny and about 5'6" with a baby face that was badly hidden by a slim beard. I told him my house has cameras and to get off my property and never come back. He just yelled a few obscenities at me like ungrateful wiener and drove off in his beat up old car. Sister-in-law and mother-in-law called us from a different number to yell at me for making sister-in-law's baby daddy feel emasculated. I didn't even threaten the man, just told him to leave and not come back. And if he didn't want to feel emasculated, then he shouldn't have come knocking. Then they tried to bring up the issue of the baby's name and demanded we change our son's name as he's so young. They said there's still plenty of time to do it. We held our ground and told them that they were bonkers. Still think we're in the right, that you were in the right after they copied our choice of name just to try and get one over on us. I said sister-in-law didn't even name her son out of love, but out of spite. Just try to stick it to my wife for no good reason. Then my wife called them both out on the way she was treated growing up, how entitled sister-in-law and mother-in-law have always been, and how she was glad to leave them far behind. And she wants nothing from them, and they won't have anything from us. That left sister-in-law sobbing, and mother-in-law called me a royal bee before hanging up on the phone. That was no contact again for a little while still sister-in-law called us again sometime later to bitterly tell us we'd won. She and her baby daddy got in a huge fight, and he left. Apparently very sore that sister-in-law didn't let him even give their son a middle name from his family. And he said he was sick of the BS and wanted his son named after him and not some guy he wasn't even related to. So this is hilarious. So sister-in-law's husband, who is the one like physically threatening to like back up his sister,
Right,
naming
like,
the kid in spite, was actually like, on second thought, this is weird. I don't want to be a part of this. And also, he should be named after me.
What a guy. Look at this guy coming up with solutions.
Jeez.
We love to see it, right?
But if you want to be related to someone, you could be related to us by going to join us live on YouTube and Facebook every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Probably live right now, so just tap our profile. But there is a relevant update. Let's discuss.
Yeah, I think we've all said our piece here. I think we know exactly where we sit. It's like, and now as this shows, all of this could have just been fixed if the dad was just like, oh, hey, what do I actually think about this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, can we name our kid after me since I'm his dad?
But I love that it wasn't just like, I don't want to be a part of this naming in spite. It was like, I want him to be named after me.
Right.
Which is like, I don't know.
It was good. He saw the light. It was like the beam of sunlight like shined down on his head, and he like
Wait a minute.
I can solve all of this right now. And then he did.
I don't think it was a solve. I think it was just like, it was like, this is weird. And also like, I want it. I want it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care about any of this. I want it to be my name.
Yeah. So sister-in-law finally caved, and they got the boy's birth certificate reissued with a completely new name.
Okay.
Which costs sister-in-law around $500 or so, she claims. Sister-in-law then demanded, shut up. Sister-in-law then demanded we at least compensate her for the name change, plus another $100 for the emotional damage, as she's now going to have to get used to calling her son by a different name.
They need to be studied. Put these people in a lab and study them, because they gotta be from another planet if they're thinking that that's a normal thing.
I go into every stream. I have a long drive. I go into every stream and I go, you know what? Today I'm really going to empathize with people I don't understand. I'm going to try my best to do that for the audience so that we could all together try to make the effort to understand people. It's hard to understand. And then every stream I read the story and there's no explanation. And I go, I take it back. I can't make sense of this.
I take it back. I can't do it today.
I can't do it today.
I'll have to do it tomorrow.
And then I go home and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be better next time.
I think all that needs to be said is clearly like the childhood sibling dynamic plays a heavy role here. I would assume
100%. Yeah, yes. We laughed, which is an appropriate response, and said this would have never happened if she hadn't stolen our baby name to begin with, and we didn't owe her anything. Since then, we've been no contact with sister-in-law and mother-in-law. But my father-in-law, who's a very nice man and divorced from mother-in-law for obvious reasons, would come by often and love his grandson. From what he and other relatives told us, the situation between sister-in-law and her baby daddy was pretty tumultuous. But we don't care. Not our monkeys, not our circus.
No way. We had double not our monkeys, not our circus. That's crazy.
What, did
We just had that again. The last story.
Wait, they said that?
Yeah.
I don't remember them saying
Yeah,
that.
they did. I
Oh,
read
no
it.
way. Oh, cool.
I remember.
Wow.
That's
All right.
crazy. We already know. We already know exactly where we're at here.
Okay, cool. Done with the story.
Yes. That is that.